Caribou Data Science channel. Give me 1 second while I get set up here. Let's come over here to Quadratic HQ. As the title suggests, we're going to be doing some more stuff with Quadratic this evening. We're specifically going to look at a data set which I believe I visited on a different video with like either R or Python or something like that. This has to do with life expectancy difference between males and females. As you'll see, give me 1 second here while I get my phone set up here, okay? As you'll see, there's the two main numeric columns we're interested in. One is called like female dash male, and that's a ratio of male to female life expectancy. A ratio of 1 means the life expectancy for that year in that country or that region is equal. A ratio greater than 1 means that the male life expectancy in that year for that country is greater than female. And the second column is simply what the actual difference is in terms of year or fractions of year or fractions of year. So let's very quickly take a look at our data for this evening before we import it. So here's the data. You can see it's a very simple thing. I'll just mention that entity could be a country, it could be a continent, it could be an income group, it can also just be the world. So the first column here is the ratio. So for 1950, this means that a ratio of 1.06 means that women were living longer than males. And this tells us they were living 1.49 years longer than males, okay? So let's go back over to Quadratic. We're here. Okay, good. Let's take a look at one more thing here. Let's just take something real. Let's just use a little bit of. So we have what? We have 15,907 rows. The average ratio is 1.08, and the actual difference is average is 4.5 years different. Now again, this can include countries, continents, income groups, or even the world, and as well as also like like islands and stuff like that. For instance, I think Puerto Rico. There could be one up here for Puerto Rico. Okay. Not quite sure. We're not going to look that right now. Let's go ahead. Go over here at Quadratic. We're going to click on New File. And as always, feel free to drop comments in the chat session for me, okay? And I'll try to answer them for you. Upload a file. Over environment, life expectancy. Now, there's not necessarily a good reason to import, a good reason to use Excel rather than just a CSV file, because as you see, it's not recognizing the column heading. So the first thing we want to do is select all the rows, go down, right-click, convert to table, right-click, first row is columns, okay? So now here we are. And let's begin. We're using, for the fun, we're using Claude 3.7. I'm not sure what the difference between Sonnet Thinking and Sonnet is, but we'll just leave it the way it is. We're going to create a histogram and a And let's put this back up here. Let's put this all the way back up here. Okay? Let's try E1. No, E1. Let's go to E1. Good. And again, remember this includes all the data for the world: countries, continents, income groups, and the world, and a separate section for the world as a whole. Female. It'd be nice if it was able to read column names. What? Minus. Okay. All right. So let's see what we got here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Now you would expect a lot of these to be clumped around 1 to 1.05 maybe, okay? Let's see what happens. Now, like I said, this is this is a fairly small, so we got 2 plots. Oh, very nice. Huh. This is interesting, isn't it? So it did a nice job of creating both plots. You know what? I'm actually, like I said, I'm actually impressed with able to create these 2 subplots. So you can see the ratio is, again, this means that one is means the male-female life expectancy is the same. So you can see the vast majority of these are between, say, really between the 1.05 and the 1.15 maybe, okay? And we've got some outliers over here where the ratio is as high as 1, but the ratio is still less than 2. So the highest is 1.6. Now what's interesting is we have someone over here where it's less than 0, with a life expectancy ratio, which means that we have some countries, or at least some entities, where the male is living longer than the female. That's something we want to look at, okay? Now in terms of the actual difference between the 2 life expectancies, most of them, again, are clumped under like 7. The biggest group is maybe between 3 and 4 years difference, okay? We got some outliers over here, and outliers over here. So 2 very useful. This plot, again, be interesting to say they only look at it by, make box plots and histograms for the continents, okay, with a separate plot for the continents. Ooh. Oh. But again, you can still see that we got a right tail, okay? There's still more to the, well, this is the median. So there's still more where the life expectancy, with the difference, or the difference in life expectancy is greater than the median. And of course, as we all know, this represents the 25% percentile, and this is the 50, and this is what's called the interquartile range. So you can see there's more to the left of the to the left of the median than there is to the left, to the 25% side. Okay, this is interesting. Let's just try cont and nits. We're going to start out focusing on the big picture. Okay, focusing on the big picture. And this is probably going to be a short session. Interesting. Okay. Now look at this double peak here. This is kind of interesting. Oops. There we go. A spill means it's running out of place, okay? So what do you think about this right now? So this is the female minus the difference. So this again is the ratio. Now what makes it think that this is a ratio? That's what I want to know. And again, when we look at the continents by the ratio, you can see there's no outliers, but there is double peaks. Now listen, this is the actual years. Again, there's no outliers, but there's double peaks. Okay. Plot continent. So this is the total for the continents. Now we want to look at, now we see if we can get one with a separate box plot for each continent. Okay. Now we're getting a little more tricky. We're getting a little more tricky. Okay. We're getting a little bit more finer in our detail. Ratio, okay. Let's have it. Horizontal. Now, what is Oceania? Oceania is primarily like New Zealand and okay. So I'm not seeing any. Okay. So next, let's look at the, once again, saying it's spilled. Okay, okay, I didn't give it a chance to finish the plot, did I? That's the problem. Okay. We got those up there. We're still not getting any plots down here. Okay. And this, okay, yeah, we're still not getting the plots we're looking for, are we? All right. We're still not getting the plots we're looking for. Let's just come back up. Let's just rearrange this a little bit. Okay, so let's come back up here. Okay, let's say the trouble is, who is this? I don't know what that is. Okay. Okay, I still don't see the box plots anyplace, do you? Alright. Alright. Separate. Let's see if we can find the identify the income groups. Show thinking, that's interesting. But started to grow something. What's this? Okay, I don't see plots. Okay, I don't see any plots. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Let's come over here. Life expectancy, let's come over here. Let's move this to dashboard. Okay. What's interesting, the zoom factor doesn't appear, only affects the active sheet, doesn't it? That's sort of interesting. Well, all right. Okay. Create. See if it can. So, I want to see one plot window, for so to speak. Okay, what we had originally. Okay, was correct. I just wanted to rotate the boxes horizontal, but that's what we actually wanted. Sometimes you got to be grateful for just what you have. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. That's more like it. Okay. And there you have it. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now, well, how come this one up here isn't working? There we go. There's the two plots. So again, this is a ratio. Okay, and you can see so this is the actual years. All right, and you can see the biggest difference is South America. Okay, this is 4 years, this is 8 years. So that means there's a difference of 8 years, apparently. In terms of ratios, you can see that oh man. So let's move these out of the way. move this to our dashboard. So, let's take a look and see where we're at here. Alright. We began with histograms for the entire data set. We saw that we got a big skew to the right. We also saw a very clumped central tendency around 1.05 to 1.15 maybe. Large again distribution, actual age differences in years. Then we looked at for continents. Okay. Then we looked at for the individual continents, my friends. And there you have your quadratic AI spreadsheet for the day. A very nice simple data set to analyze, and it actually did a very good job. So that's going to conclude this night. We'll see you back over on Wednesday night with a new quadratic AI exercise. Okay, so thank you so much for your time, and we'll catch you Wednesday evening.